A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ravenstein in Passaital, Süd Tirol. We are live. The fourth round of the 2019 Uiaa Aisklyming World Cup. And we are live for the Ravenstein in Passaital, Süd Tirol finals. Before we get going, we thought it might be prudent to share with you some of the technical knowledge and skills required to compete in these World Cup competitions. A couple of years ago, I sat down with Noah Bake in Sazfay, one of the Canadian athletes, and we made this video.
We're here at the warm-up wall behind the Sazfay structure with Canadian climber Noah Bake, and we're going to try and explain a few of the terms that you're going to hear in the commentary. So first of all, Noah's going to kick in. So Noah, when you kick in, what is it that you're thinking about?
Just to see if they actually stick and how far they go in.
And how does that feel?
Good.
Cool. Another term that you'll often hear us say is the use of the word figure four, or just four. Noah, use a fig four. Can you explain why you would use a fig four?
You generally use a figure four when you find a very skatey or low percentage hold because it really sets your pick in the down position so it doesn't pop off.
Yeah. So it doesn't, I think a misconception is that often people think it gives you more reach, but actually it just gives you a more stable position over the tool.
It can and it can't. It's really the situation.
Another term that we often use during the commentary is figure of nine, fig nine or a nine. So Noah, if you could show us a nine. And perhaps now's a good time to explain the difference between a four and a nine. So with a nine, Noah's left hand and left leg are crossed, whereas with a four, you would cross right hand and left leg. So Noah, explain why you would use a figure nine.
You generally use it in roofs to transition into a figure four to reach to the next hold.
Okay. So moving on to tool usage. Noah, when you are climbing, you'll often use different tool positions. I'd like to cover some of those. So first up, Noah's going to show us a wrap.
So wrap is when you kind of wrap the teeth of the tool around the hold. You'll generally do that when you see a horn kind of sticking out. It's usually a fairly decent hold.
And how does it feel?
They usually feels fairly secure.
Careful. And then also you might go what some people call front on. Can you show us that?
Yeah, that's just plainly placing the...
So the clue's in the name.
Straight on like that.
And does that feel less secure?
It can. It can be really bad, but it can also be really good.
Cool. And then another crucial one that we often talk about is a stein.
That is when you take it upside down and then the teeth rest against the wall.
So the head of the axe is resting against the wall, and you can torque on it almost, really yard on it. So we can call that a stein or a stein pull. And then there's a subtle difference between the stein and then an undercling or an undercut. Can you show us that?
An undercling is usually upside down, but you don't stein the head of your tool.
So the head of the tool would be free from the surface of the wall.
Usually a more physical move too.
Cool. Well, Noah, thank you so much for that. That was very insightful, very interesting. Best of luck for the competition.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, hopefully that shed some light on some of the terminology. If you're new to the sport, then that is some of the basic terminology that we do use during the broadcast, during the commentary, and I'll do my best to explain things as we go as well without boring those of you who are, of course, already fans. Just to introduce myself, here at the lead semi-finals, my name is Liam Lonsdale. I have been with you all season and will be with you for the rest of the season on the Ice Climbing World Cup Tour. As I said already, we're in our fourth round. Last week we were in Switzerland, the week before China, and the week before that South Korea. Next week we'll be in France, and the following week we will be in Denver, Colorado, in the USA. As I said as well, things are about to get underway here. We, of course, love to hear from you. If you are joining us on the broadcast this morning, then do get in touch. It's very easy to do. Couldn't be easier. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, then you can drop us a comment in the chat box. If you're watching on another platform and would like to join the conversation, then use that hashtag Uiaa Aiceclimbing. And if you would like to contact me directly, again, very easy. On all of the social media platforms, you can find me on @Liam Lonsdale. Okay, it looks like the climbing's getting underway, so let's head over there and see what's going on. First two athletes out this morning, Alexandra Sedova of Russia and Anton Grebennikov, also of Russia. The athletes are going to be climbing at the same time. So we'll do our best to give you as much of the action as we can, but of course there are some limitations to that. It's the first time that we've seen these routes climbed. So we'll literally seeing these moves happen for the first time. Oh, and there's a very low fall. Sedova off before she'd even got going there for Russia. Those Krukonogi holds are very, very unforgiving. Athletes are climbing in reverse order. What that means is if you qualified in 18th place yesterday, you'll be out first. If you qualified in first place, you'll be out 18th. 18 men and 18 women qualified. So this is the moment that those Krukonogi balls are very, very tricky. Essentially metal on metal, there's no friction at all, and you have to have complete isolation of the tool, no movement in order to move successfully through those positions. Okay, so we can skip across over to the men's route. This is Anton Grebennikov, the younger of the Grebennikov brothers. Anton Grebennikov had a pretty good season so far. Currently sits behind his brother in the overall table. '28th overall. Finished 14th in Switzerland. This is his second semi-finals of the season. Approaching the roof section, moving out behind himself onto that right hand. Anton Grebennikov moving through that hanging feature. Oh, little slip there. His left foot, which was pushing away off the bottom of that volume, just slipped, but he managed to recover and he's into that Krukonogi hook now. Very, very slim placement, pulling onto that plate. Some very small drilled divots for the tool to sit in. Moves through that ice barrel, climbing left to right, and with the feet in the ice can take a little bit of weight off the hands. Cuts loose. Oh, his right hand pops and his left hand pops and he's straight out of there. He thought he'd hit that pillar then. We'll need to see what happened there. It all happened very, very fast. It was over with the left hand, reached behind him with the right. The feet cut loose, and his tool just ripped out of the ice. tool just ripped out of the ice. At the angle, very difficult to tell what happened. Let's just watch that fall again. The way that it popped, it just flipped him over himself. You see he committed with the feet, threw the leg over. At that time it ripped out. Yeah, he didn't hit the ice. He was very lucky then. Good reactions, good instincts. You can see that he's disappointed. Without seeing it from the other angle, it's difficult to say exactly what happened there, but that was an unfortunate fall for Anton Grebennikov of Russia. Next athlete in the women's competition is Naya Yagi, Japanese climber. There she is. Naya Yagi lines up for her first climb, first moves of that semi-final route. All the athletes have 6 minutes and 30 seconds to climb the routes. Women have 12 clips, including the top. Men have 14 clips, including the top. Tyler Kempney on the left-hand side. First semi-finals for our US athlete. Naya Yagi moving up through the part that we saw Alexandra Sedova fall. There's both athletes there. You can see Tyler Kempney in that top left-hand side, moving out into the horizontal roof. There he goes. And the athletes in the men's route are having to climb behind themselves and then almost back down onto those wooden boards. Goes down into the Stein there with the right hand, kicks across. Moves rightwards, right tool on the underside of that volume, pulling nicely there. Oh, little pop with that left pick, doesn't phase him too much, manages to re-center his balance, gets into that undercut now, very powerful move, pressing through the toes, reaching out behind him. Very strong athlete, Tyler, doesn't quite have the experience yet, but he's confident. You see that cutting loose there. Into the figure 9. Puts the left leg over the left hand. Reaches in for that clip. Talking to the US team yesterday about their team and the development, and they're a very enthusiastic team. As I said, not quite the most experienced, but everybody has to build that experience from somewhere. But one thing that we agreed that they are certainly one of the strongest in is Stoke and Syke. These athletes from the States are very supportive of each other.
2, 3.
Moving nicely, Tyler Kempney, a little bit slower than Anton Grebennikov. Slightly more cautious approach, but nothing wrong with that. Here his teammates supporting him down there. Asking him to pick up the pace. 3 minutes remaining, it's just over halfway. It's the point that Grebennikov fell, reaches up behind him higher into the ice, into the figure 4 with the left leg over the right hand. Back into the next ice box. Really nice movement. You see that box swinging. And actually, it's as important for the athletes to keep the momentum in rhythm with the swing of those boxes so that it plays with them, not against them. Just struggling to make that clip there. There it is. You see the blue and the pink paint. Shows the inbounds and outbounds areas. The blue holes are pre-drilled placements. The pink paint is out of bounds. The athletes may not use any part of the pink at any point. They can, if they wish, create their own placements in the white zone. Very rare that we see that. Quality of the ice usually has to be poor for them to start doing that. Moving really nicely through those figure 4s and figure 9s. Very efficient way to move through that steep terrain. Oh, little pop of the feet, but manages to recompose himself. Really nice as he reaches high and right just to bump that right hand up again. That's clip 9. One minute remaining for Tyler Kempney of the USA. Clips 10 and 11 made. Tyler Kempney of the USA with just over 30 seconds remaining. Excellent work here, and you see that right tool on the ever so small Krukanogi edge. 20 seconds remaining. This is a really brilliant performance from Tyler Kempney. Total clips is 14. Can he make that next one? Looks like he can. Tyler Kempney of the USA there. Lots of support coming in on the broadcast. Let me take a look at these comments. Angela Limbach's tuning in all the way from Wisconsin. We've got McSwooners tuning in from Denmark. Don Seymour, go Tyler. We have George Joseph, come on Tyler. Lots of people cheering on for Tyler. Lois and Luce. Lots of people. That was a really, really strong effort from Tyler Kempney. We'll have to wait and see how that fixes him for the rest of the semi-finals, where he'll sit in those rankings, but that was a solid effort. So I think 12 won't count, but I'll get the results as much as I'll get the results information as often, as reliably as I can. Rolling on with our next athlete. which is Russia's Anastasia Zazdravnik. Great to have everyone on board this morning, and if you want to join us in the conversation, couldn't be easier. Of course, use the chat box or the comments box. You can contact me directly on @Liam Lonsdale. Anastasia Zdravnik. First semi-final we've seen her in this season. Moving out along those ice barrels. Through that horizontal section, past clip number 3.
Test. So, das hört man. Okay. Buongiorno a tutti. Ecco qui, grazie. Buongiorno agli amici della Guardia di Finanza. Mittendrin hier jetzt im Liedwettbewerb. Und das Ganze hat schon einen ganz tollen
left hand side now is Tristan Ladavon of France. Ladavon brothers, both very much at their peak at the moment. Not had a chance to really show that strength yet this season, but I could see Rabenstein suiting both of them. We have Alessandro Davanzo tuned in. Hello, Kat. Very good morning and welcome to the broadcast. And welcome, of course, to everyone that is just joining us wherever you are in the world. Of course, the Europeans amongst us were early on a Sunday. If you're going towards the east, then it's Sunday afternoon. And maybe it's Saturday night if you're watching in the USA. First time we've seen this section of route climbed as Anastasia Zazdravnik moves higher up that steep boarded panel. Just taking a second to shake on that Krukonogi hold there. Zazdravnik now moving up off that right hand into one of those stone holds. Very similar to the ones that we have in Sazfei, if not the same. Reaches leftwards into that volume.
Wie jedes Jahr hier, das Eisclimbing stellt dich ein mit dem Weltcup an 2 Tagen. Heute die spannenden genau, einmal, zweimal, noch einmal. Volle Muskelkraft. Alle Muskeln sind angespannt. Die Willenskraft damit hinein und der Franzose hier hat jetzt vom Dry sich
So Stavnik waits there,
das nächste Element gebracht und
comes down, looks like
die Russin.
she's timed out.
Die ihren Semifinal-Lauf jetzt hier beendet hat. Franzosen noch unterwegs.
It was a great effort from Zazdravnik. And we can go straight over to Tristan Ladevon in a few seconds. See how he's progressing. There he is in those ice blocks.
Akrobatik und natürlich auch Schnelligkeit. Flink ist er unterwegs. Er weiß genau, wo er ihn sich abstützen kann. Und in diesem Kreuzschrittmanöver bringt er sich schon auf das nächste Element.
Very efficient through those hanging blocks, using those 4s and 9s. If you missed the video that we showed this morning, talked about technical know-how and jargon and terminology that we use in the broadcast, then you can watch that on YouTube. It's all available to replay.
Die Elemente kommt er rüber und gleich
Tristan Ladevon
geht's dann hinauf
moving off those blocks now.
in den Überhang. Wir sehen die Zeit hier, den Countdown auf der Videowall.
And there's clip 9. Made.
Sonntag hier Rabenstein. The place to be, wenn es ums Eisklettern geht.
Very characteristic performance of Tristan Ladevon so far. Usually expect him to move just like this, confident, quick.
Klettert.
He and his brother Luna have both put a lot of time and effort. Oh, little pop with the left hand, and he can't save it with the right.
Hat sie so ein bisschen
Looks like he might have injured that right arm there as he holds on.
auf. Ganz
Need to see that again, but it could be the shock loading of the elbow.
Tumbi.
Could be that he banged it. He's not happy, that's for sure. Watch that right hand. Fully deep lock on that right arm. He banged the right elbow on the way down on the ice. He needs to be careful. He did throw that left tool down, which is against the rules. Watch the right elbow. Just banged it on the way past on the ice.
Mit dem Franzosen, der einfach dann auch seinen Pickel
He is still on the floor, but he looks okay. I think they're just untying him. Now our next athlete gets ready to
Savat ist drauf
climb.
und gleich kommt der
Haruko Takeuchi
Hilfe mit dem
of Japan.
Verbands und Versorgungsmaterial. Und das
Puts the
Rennen
tools in the start position.
geht weiter. Wir haben die nächste
Off she goes. Nice confident start there as she skips up onto those first holds.
110 aus Japan jetzt. Haruko Takeuchi ist schon in ihrem Rennen. Parallel verlaufen ja hier die Halbfinal.
Through those
Rechts
steep overhanging panels to begin.
und das Ganze noch einmal auf der Wand. Ja, das ist schmerzhaft. Da gibt es mehr als nur eine Beule. Da muss man jetzt natürlich
Reaches behind herself into that right hand on the silver Krukonogi ball.
und das gibt hier eine Platzwunde mit
Keep that position very close, very isolated to move up and left to that next Krukonogi hook. Moving nicely so far. Oh, little pop. You see that any movement at all, those holds pop, but the left hand was solid enough that it didn't affect her position. Keeps that composure, puts the right hand into the Stein. Here she goes. Just a little trouble with the rope there over the tool. There it is. Currently overall in the rankings, Haruko Takeuchi is 16th. She placed 24th in Korea, 9th in China, and 18th in Switzerland. She's at least going to match that result today here in the semi-finals. And already climbed past the current last place, Alexandra Sedova. So she's already beaten her Sasfei result. See the pink and the blue areas again on the ice, and we have a question coming in about the out-of-bounds zones. Is it an incidental touch? What is considered disqualifying? So if the athletes use the... Oh, that's the key word. If the athletes are deemed to use the out-of-bounds zone, then it is disqualified. Their route, or rather their route attempt finishes at the point that they were deemed to use the out-of-bounds zone. If they accidentally tapped the zone on the way past the out-of-bounds zone, it's highly unlikely that they would be called for that unless it was deemed to be beneficial. So the athletes are all told to be very careful. They have a technical meeting where the president of the jury, the judges, reminds them of the rules, reminds them of the inbound and outbound zones. So there's no confusion, there's no dispute about what is and isn't allowed. But yeah, certainly in this competition and also in Sasfei, a very pronounced inbound and outbound areas. Moves to the end of the ice barrel at clip number 4 and gets ready to make her way up that hanging section. If you're interested in the rules, and you can find the rules online, you can find everything, all of the important documentation on the UIAA website. It couldn't be easier. www.theuiaa.org. Haruko Takeuchi moving up now towards clip 5. That's clip 5 made. Oh, it is a pop while she's clipping. That's not ideal. We'll need to see what happened there again. Highly likely that she just lost tension as she reached up with the hand to make the clip. So we'll see that again. So watch that left hand. Reaches with the right. A little bit of wobble in the tool. Boom! Get out of there. Just popped. It was the tension. The tiniest little bit of movement in that position. Very costly. Haruko Takeuchi paid the price. It's her attempt in the semi-finals over. The next athlete in the women's competition will be Daria Menina of Russia. The men's competition, we have Artem Bajaitsky of Russia still climbing. There he is. Moves through that steep horizontal section. The moves in this part not particularly challenging. Plenty of time still to go. He moves towards those ice barrels. Made the semi-finals last week in Saas-Fee. In the security of those ice barrels. Generates that momentum for a big lunge up and right. Does it from the edge of the barrel instead of going from the inside edge. Oh, and he's fallen. That cost him. There's 2 Russian athletes that have made mistakes on those ice barrels. Opted not to climb all the way around to the edge of the box. Look, he's on that face. Missed it. Went up, committed, popped, couldn't recover. See his frustration there. He was out of there. Next male competitor will be Anton Yemov, yesterday's gold medalist in the speed competition. And it'll be Daria Menina joining us in the women's in just a few moments' time. There she is. You see that outdoor research sticker on the top there, and of course take this opportunity to say a big thank you to the title sponsors of the Uiaa Aisclimbing World Cup. Outdoor Research are the main sponsors for the entire tour.
Steht dieses Eismonstrum da und die Athleten steigen da rein, wollen es bezwingen.
So Menina begins her attempt.
Und wir sehen jetzt die 122 für Russland. Daria Menina. Für Russland das russische Team auch hier mit starker Vertretung anwesend.
Daria Menina currently in the top 10 in the overall rankings. Finished 16th in Korea, 5th in China in her first ever final, and 15th in Switzerland. Total of 93 points. First place is held by Maria Tolokanina so far with 240 points. She's 36 points ahead of Wunzion Shin.
Also here in Rabenstein today.
Uses that figure 4 with the left leg to keep that right hand nice and steady over the Krukenogi golf ball. Big reach with the right hand into the Stein. Approaching clip number 1. Matches in that Stein. Sets herself in a good position for the next clip. If you are just joining us, a very good morning from Rabenstein, Südtirol. On the left-hand side of your screen, you can see Anton Yemov, tour leader, overall ranked number 1 in the speed competition. Daria Menina moving through that steep ice barrel section now, climbing towards the camera. Now, what we see with the athletes is they move quite cautiously along those ice blocks. And as we move through those rankings and up the rankings towards the higher place qualifiers, I would say it's important to observe those athletes and how quickly they move through those steep ice sections. That's where they make up a lot of the time, because these stone holds you've got to be careful on. You can't move too fast on those Krukenogi metal plates. Again, you have to be very careful as you move through those sequences. Whereas those ice barrels give relative certainty in the movement, decent placements. So that's where they, where they make up the time. So do keep your eye on that. We're going to bring the athletes in for interviews as well this morning. So if you have any questions, then do send them in. See Daria Menina there. It's a really nice shot, actually. You get a really nice feel for how high she is in the route and where she has to go. She's going to climb all the way through that steep arcing section to the back of that onto the ice barrel. And there you see how deceptive that angle is. It looks like she's vertical, but it really, she's approaching that steep section. In the right hand, matches into the higher grip, gives herself a second to shake into the higher grip again with the right. A little bit less stability, but a little bit closer to that next position. Locks the left in, and she's going to climb her way into first place here. Kicks across, strong in the chest and in the back to take that shoulder. Gonna match in with that right tool.
Akrobatik pur auf höchstem Niveau und bei den Damen jetzt auch da wieder im Überhang, auch da wieder
in the Stein with that left hand, just making a reach for clip number 8.
Und da haben wir Daria Menina, die sich da nach oben arbeitet und
looks like she's just trying to get that move. She has touched the hold now. A little fall there as her time's running out.
Achtung, rechts oben ein Naturspektakel mit einem Bartgeier. Watch out. In the sky we are.
We see that she reached behind her for the right hand. Very tenuous placement. Popped out of there. That's going to be a stopper move, I can tell you that now. In a few moments' time, we will have Tyler Kempney from the USA. We'll have a chat to him and see how he felt about his semi-finals route. And there is Daria Menina getting untied. And our next climber in the women's competition is Switzerland's Laura von Allmen. She was so close to making finals last week in Saas-Fee. Anton Yemov there on the left-hand side. Moving. Oh, he's popped! Right hand off. He was just going up for that left placement and the tool came out. That's him out of there. So I'll take this opportunity to say hello and good morning to Tyler Kempney for the USA. Tyler, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Well done. How did that feel?
Oh, it felt great, yeah. This is my first time in semifinals, and it was super fun. I kept a clear head, and luckily I was able to move quick enough to make it I feel good about it.
Yeah, you moved super well. And I haven't seen the final result. My internet's very slow here today. Do you know if you got clip 12 in time or not?
I did not, no.
Okay, cool. So just ahead of Anton Yemov at the moment. That keeps you in first place.
It's really exciting.
And we're after 5 athletes. How's that feeling?
Oh, it's feeling good, yeah. Oh, man, it would be great to make finals, represent the USA. We've had one male American make finals before in difficulty, or in lead, and oh, man, it'd be great to make that number 2.
Tyler, there was a lot of support for you on the broadcast. Lots and lots of people, US and non-US, saying that you climbed so well. Angela Limbach, your teammate, said cut feet look strong. Lois, who I believe you know, she says she's your wife, so I'm hoping that you know her. She said she was super proud of you. George Joseph, he's out in Arizona. Lots and lots of people showing their support. Is there anything you'd like to say to the guys at home who were so supportive?
Oh, man, I feel so supported already, and then that's great to hear that people are supporting on there. Just all my friends, all my family, people I don't even know are reaching out to me on social media networks or getting my phone number somehow, and it's been really cool. It's this has been a great opportunity, and it's been super fun, and it's, oh man, I love the USA for the amount of support that we have.
We talked about that last night. You guys win the Stoke medal. It's your first year on the tour.
Yeah.
How's that feeling as a whole? You know, what's your learnings? What are your goals? Talk me through that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in it. I didn't know I was going to be able to do this, and then I was talking to some other people on the team this summer, and they're like, "Oh, you should join us and come on the team." And I didn't know that was ever a possibility. So when I made that decision in August, it was really exciting from the start, and it's my first time to Europe, so seeing crazy things on that end. But I mean, right after Saasve, I was hooked, man. I think I have to keep coming back. Watching Yannick get gold in Saasve was one of the most electric moments I've ever seen in a sporting event. I mean, his jump off the top, people were going wild. People on every floor on the car park. That was something that I'll never forget. That moment. So from then on, I was like, "Ooh, I think I got to figure out how to do this every year." So yeah, it's phenomenal. The World Cup it's just good fun, good people. All the athletes are so supportive of one another. So it's just a phenomenal place to be.
Well, we're delighted that you're here, and it's so great, as I said a couple of times on the broadcasts already, to have such a strong representation from the USA, and we hope that continues. What other rounds do we expect to see you at this season?
I'll be at Chamonix, and I'll be in Denver representing home country, so that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, can't wait. We should have a good showing in Denver. So.
Well, listen, man, sit tight, enjoy the rest of the semi-finals. I do hope that it goes your way. We'll have to watch those results carefully and see what happens. Yeah, best of luck and enjoy the rest of the season. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks, Liam.
Tyler Kempney there of the USA, current first place in the men's lead competition in this semi-finals. We'll have to wait and see after 6 athletes where he sits, and that will continue. I've been told that Tristan Ladavon did actually split open his elbow on that fall. He's had to receive some medical attention. I think he's okay, but yeah, that was why he looked so hurt, because he was hurt. In the top left-hand corner of your screen is Dmitry Grebenikov of Russia, and in that right-hand corner, in the yellow jersey, bib 104, is Swiss climber Laura von Allmen, Swiss. And again, with a very strong representation, Laura, who trains so hard, she's incredibly strong, just missed out on finals in Saasve. She'll be looking to rectify that situation here in Rabenstein. Matches in to the edge with that right tool, takes it as the underhand grip in the high grip with the left into that next Kukunogi edge. You can actually see there that hold, that it's a very small edge on a rounded bar. Very small edge indeed. Laura looks very composed as she shakes there and lines herself up for this next move in that steep section. There you go. You see that small rounded bar, zero friction. Into that stone hold. Very familiar with those. Of course, the Swiss training on those stone holds super regularly. Very common to see those at that south face structure. You can see in the bottom left of the structure is Dmitry Grebennikov in his fluoro green sleeves. Laura van Almen approaches that top right-hand corner of the route. Still several clips to go. A lot of horizontal climbing to be done. Oh, little slip there. It's a big move, this. In that undercut position, the athletes have to stand up, pull up at the same time, and engage the core. It's such a physical move. See how it goes. She tries it for a second time. Looks like she's trying to twist around herself to generate a little bit more momentum in the lock. The athlete's having to fully bend their arm, lock that position in, and then push down. Watch that left hand as she stands up with the right. Locks across herself. Not quite hitting it again. This is a big, powerful move. Laura, not one of the taller athletes in the women's competition, that's for sure. This time, oh, pops! She was building the feet, she was just about to go. Right hand popped, and she was out of there. That's Laura von Almen's attempt over. Next athlete in the women's competition, Olga Kozek. Dmitry Grebennikov still climbing up on that top side. We'll catch him in a moment. Yeah, the feet built high. She went with that right hand, but you could see the pick shifting. The head of the axe was moving around a lot. She knew that that was probably going to happen. That was a difficult move there for Laura van Almen. Watch the axe there. You can see the green part of her tape moving, swinging around. Just can't work. It actually looked like something might have snapped at that point. Maybe the tip of her pick broke. I'm not sure. There's Dmitry Grebennikov, the Siberian bear, moving up into the plywood section of his route by clip number 9. Dmitry Grebennikov past the hanging guys section into this more difficult sequence now on those stone holds, up into that Krukonogi edge with the right. He's a very big climber. A little bit of shake in the leg there. The old disco leg going on. Once that starts, it's very, very hard to stop. Just affects your stability. Manages to catch that left hand, and with clip number 11 made and that hold, if he makes clip 12, that's going to put him into first place ahead of Tyler Kempney of the USA. There it is. So that puts him ahead of Tyler Kempney now. Into that intellect hold. You see that very positive hook placement as he moves into the steepest part of the route, right at the top. 14 clips in this route. He makes 13. Time running short now. Just struggling to make that move with the left tool. It's a tricky position to hold. That is his time up. You hear the judges call it there. Not a bad effort from Dmitry Grebennikov. We'll wait and see how that sits him in the rankings. If it's enough to see him through to this afternoon's finals. If you'd like to watch the final, then we will be live 12:45 local time, 12:45 p.m. local time. An hour ahead of the UK. 9 hours ahead of the west coast of the US. 8 hours behind the east coast of Asia. If you're not sure where our time sits, then you can usually find out by clicking on that broadcast on YouTube, scheduled broadcast, and it'll tell you how many hours to go. Great work from Dmitry Grubanikov. There's Olga Kozak, Polish athlete who made her first finals this season. She's climbing through that hanging ice section. There she goes. Moves along that ice section around the back of the structure. Makes clip number 4. Very composed so far, Olga Kozak. The overall rankings so far, she sits in 7th. She placed 18th in Korea, 4th in China, and 14th in Switzerland. In your shot there is Nathan Clare, silver medalist in Beijing, China. His first ever podium. It's been a long time since we've had a World Cup podium for France, so it was great to have that, and for Nathan Clare to take that reward and that honour. Olga Kozak climbing now into that steep wood section. You can see in the screen Nathan Clare in that classic DTS style, just cutting loose, moving through that steep section as he inverts to climb back on himself. Olga Kozak at clip number 6. Locks the left hand down. Puts that right leg over the left hand to stabilize that hold into the figure 4. Right hand into that big granite edge. Whilst they might look slippy, they do get some good bite out of those holds, the tools biting into the granite. We see her approaching this next move, this tricky move. By Laura von Almenfeld. We will have Laura up here in the studio for a quick chat in a few moments' time. If you have questions for Laura, then please do send them in. Reaches across herself, very strong, hits that Stein, first time. Really, really nice commitment there from Olga Kozak. She leans back off that Stein with the left hand in the low grip, matches with the right. Switches it to a high grip with the left hand so that she can reach up in clip number 8. Now actually goes ahead of Daria Menina with clip number 8. Into the provisional first place, and behind herself into that very small blue edge. Look at that, barely any contact at all, and she's out of there. Very powerful move, got to be high in the feet. Great effort from Olga Kozak, who climbs into provisional first place. We'll see that one more time, and then we'll go straight across to Nathan Clare of France. But you can see they've got to be so strong in that position. There can't be any movement or shift at all. And she went with that left hand, just shifted the tool, boom, she was down. Awesome work from Poland's Olga Kozak, who now, as I said, sits in a provisional first place. Next athlete in the women's competition will be Marion Thomas of France. Speaking of French athletes, we will have a shot of Nathan Claire and his progress. There we go, into that steep section by clips 7 and 8 now. And look at the pace. This is what I was talking about. This is where we see some aggression. This is where we see some speed. Well, apart from when they get the tools stuck. But this moment is where the athletes can really pick up time and then use that time to their advantage further on in the tricky technical rock and hold sections. Reaches up with the right hand. Masoud Zainali's joining us. Very good morning to you, Masoud. Great to have you on board. One of the original Iranian team members. Nathan Claire standing away off that left hand by clip number 11 now with that right hand. Stands high, flexed there as he reaches up to the left edge. Kicks rather gently with that left foot. Makes clip number 12. And as he makes that next clip, that's 12 rather, he reaches up into the intellect hold and climbing towards a provisional first place. So a 7th athlete in this men's competition. Cuts loose off that right hand, but manages to hold that hook really nicely. It's a positive hold, that one. You can see the tip of the tool coming through the other side of that Krukanogi placement. Reaches up again with the left hand. Another powerful move into the Stein backhand. Puts him ahead of Dmitry Grubennikov now. Allez Le Bleu cuts loose. Very strong shoulder stability. Cranking super hard. Back into that ice barrel. Clip 13 made. That is his last clip there. Just needs to get to the finish zone. It's the clip made. One tool's in the finish zone. Needs to match it. Oh, and look at that. One-handed. Pulls up and matches it. And that's a great effort and a top for Nathan Claire of France. Brilliant work from him. And while we watch those replays, I'm going to welcome to the broadcast Laura von Allmen of Switzerland. Laura, guten Morgen.
Hello, Liam.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. Talk me through your semi-finals route.
Yeah, in the beginning it was quite steep, not really hard moves, and I think I could move quickly. And then we had this ice barrel traverse that went also well, but then I think I just didn't have enough power anymore. It was that hard move from that intellect hold to the underclink, so I tried 3 times and then I fell. Yeah,
it looked hard. It looked like you needed to build your feet, and then when you did build them, just a little bit too much tension for how tired you were.
Yes.
You kind of fell with a smile, knowing that it was going to happen almost, I think.
Yeah. I think I'm still happy with my climb. 3 days ago I was suffering of a little cold, so I'm not really feeling that well, but I did my best.
Awesome. Well, it's great to see. What did you think of the route setting here?
It's good. I like the style. It's quite different from Saas-Fee. I mean, in Saas-Fee you have these stone holds. It's more technical, and here it's how do you say, more? You need more power. It's more overhanging.
Yeah. Well, lots of support on the broadcast as ever. Is there anything you'd like to say to all those supporters at home and here in Rabenstein as well?
Yeah, I would like to say hello to my family. I think they are watching. Hello, Tama. See you later. And then now let's cheer for the other Swiss guys. I think
for sure.
Tina and Vivian are going to the finals.
You think?
Yeah, for
Love
sure.
that, Laura. And will we be seeing you at any other competitions this season?
Yeah, for sure in Champagne. And then probably in Denver as well.
We'd love to see you in Denver. It sounds like it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime type competition.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, great event. Well, listen, Laura, thank you so much for joining us. Hope that you do recover nice and quickly and you're strong for Champagne next week. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yes, thank you.
And thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Laura von Allmen there of Switzerland. And on your screens, Marion Thomas of France, who's using her hands there at the start section of that steep wooden panel. The left-hand side for the men's route is Uiaa Kwon. We'll stick with Marion for now. Moving up and into that steeper section. Currently top 10 in the overall rankings. She skipped the China round, finished 9th in Korea and 6th in Switzerland. She'll be looking for a spot in the finals today. Get another update on Tristan Ladavant shortly. Moves into a tricky fig 4 position there. Moving leftwards now into that powerful move that Laura van Almen was just talking about. The athletes have to take the hold with the left hand and then cross all the way over themselves into the Stein with the right. So you see that left hand, backhand, powerful move into the shoulder. Looks like she's trying to take it on the other side. Now, how will that sit her for the next move? She's going to match into the top of it. Nice technique there. Nice little workaround of that powerful drop-down move. She might be a little bit fresher for this next press up with the left hand. Yeah, just misses it first time. You see that right foot not quite getting any purchase as she went to attack that hold with the left hand. Hits it second time, strong into the Stein. Sets clip 8 going so that makes it nice and easy, and you can see ahead of her are the remaining clips, 12 in total for the ladies. And this next move, very, very tricky. The athletes have to get this very marginal placement, then build the feet and keep the tension through that blue hold, which is absolutely terrible. Such a small hold. As I said, I thought this was going to be a stopper move, and it has been so far. Oh, and she pops. Let's just watch that one more time. So she went up with the right hand. Watch the right foot. The right foot popped. That was her out of there. Just lost the tension. Of course, these athletes don't know how they do in the rankings until they're finished. So she'll be eager to go and see where she sits in the table. My live results still aren't working, but if my rough calculations are correct, she sits in joint first place. Uiaa Kwon of Korea moving through that steep ice section now. Uiaa Kwon moves up into that steeper section now, makes the next clip. Young-Jae Kwon falls there. We'll catch a replay of that in a second. So you see he goes up to that intellect hold with the right hand, kicks in high. Good body tension at that point, and then as he stands up with the left hand, he misses it, and that's him out of there as he starts to sag back down again. Just lost that good position. I have some results now. I can tell you the following. In the women's competition, the 8th through 1st goes like this. 8th place, Alexandra Sedova of Russia. 7th place, Naia Yagi of Japan. 6th place, Haruko Takayuchi of Japan. 5th place, Laura von Almen of Switzerland. 4th place, Anastasia Zazdravnik of Russia. 3rd place is Daria Minina of Russia. Marion Thomas of France is in 2nd place. And Olga Kozek in 1st. Still 10 more athletes in that ladies' competition to go. So everything can and most likely will change. We can try and pull up those men's results if they work. Let me see. Yes, they do. Excellent. The 8th place in the men's is Artem Bajevsky of Russia. 7th place, Anton Grebenikov of Russia. 6th place, he did fall and hurt himself pretty badly, I believe, but he's okay. Tristan Ladovon of France. Anton Yemov of Russia in 5th. Tyler Kempney of the USA in 4th. Young-Jae Kwon, who we just saw climbing there, of Korea in 3rd. Dmitry Grebenikov of Russia in 1st and 2nd, excuse me. And Nathan Claire of France sits in provisional 1st place. Now, he is the only athlete to have topped of any of the routes in the men's or women's competition so far. We will have him up here for a chat in a few moments. If you have any questions that you would like to ask Nathan or any of the athletes, then do let me know. We do our best to get each of them up for a chat. On your screens right now at clip number 3 is Valeria Bogdan. If you have those questions, then you can use hashtag Uiaa Aiceclimbing. That's a way to ask the questions. Or you can, of course, put it in the chat box or the comments box. Or just send them to me directly on @Liam Lonsdale. Top left-hand corner of your screen is Young Gun Lee. Young Gun, the Korean athlete, had a really strong season so far. Currently sits in 2nd place overall. 2 bronze medals. 1st in Korea, the 2nd in China, and the 7th place in Switzerland. Valeria Bogdan just trying to make sense of this next move. After clip number 4, after those ice sections. Uses the hand as we saw Marion Thomas do. Reaches high in that low grip with a tool to that sideways edge by clip number 5. Nice body position there as she makes clip 5 to then reach up and rightwards for that next Krukonogi edge. Temperature here today, just below 0 Celsius. Not too cold at all. Uiaa Bogdan by clip number 6 now.
Heading towards the results of the best. Very concentrated, very elegant way.
Moves up and right with that right hand, the left leg in the figure 4 over the, the right leg over the figure 4 in the left hand to stabilize that hold and take that next granite hold. Makes clip number 7. And now she's got to do that step across with the left hand. It's really interesting. We saw Marion Thomas do a really nice move there. She did exactly what Uiaa Bogdan's doing. Took the left hand into the underside, matched him with the right, and then pressed up hard into the Stein position.
One of the best climbers, ice climbers this season so far.
Let's see how Uiaa Bogdan copes here now. So she has that right hand in the underside of the volume. Big press for the short athlete, but first time hits the Stein. Really nice move there. Very strong work from Uiaa Bogdan. Just trying to work out this next position. We can hear there someone shouting timeout in the background, and I can welcome to the broadcast now for a quick chat Olga Kozek of Poland. Olga, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. It's very nice morning.
It's a lovely morning. Talk me through that that climbing. You're currently sitting first place.
Yeah, I know. I'm still cannot believe this. Because I thought the girls will climb better. I saw them all in SAS3 in the previous stages, so I just know that the first 15 places now, they are very strong this year.
Yep.
It's not like you've got, for example, 5 very strong girls. We've got like 15 to 20 strong girls this year.
So we still have 10 more athletes to go. Excuse me, no we don't. We have 9 more athletes to go. You're going to be watching very, very closely.
Yeah, and I know that I'm 9 on 9th position, so it means one more and I made to the second final.
Yeah, well, we'll have to watch that closely. You're currently sitting in 7th in the top 10 in the overall rankings. Yeah. Are you happy with your season so far?
Yes, I am. I think my worst start was in Cheongsong in Korea. But the good idea is that when I've got the bad result, it's because my mistakes. So the mistakes is the thing that you have to observe, watch, learn, and then you can climb better every time. So I'm very happy that it's my progress this year. I'm very happy with how I climb.
Well, we're happy with how you climb as well. It's great to see you progressing so much, and of course there's lots of support for you on the broadcast. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people out there that are supporting you?
It's a lovely Sunday morning, so I hope that the people watch this live stream, but if not, I hope they can watch me in the finals today afternoon. It will be a little bit better because I have to wake up today at 5 a.m. So I understand that there are people who are not interested in wake up at 5 to watch someone, but yeah, I hope there will be possibility to watch me again next time.
It looks like Young Gun Lee just timed out there on that last hold. Didn't quite get the top. He did have the last clip, but not the last hold. Very, very close indeed. Olga, I'm going to leave it there because I have three different athletes queued up to talk, and we quickly want to review Young Gun Lee's performance.
Sure.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Really excited to see how it goes for you for the rest of the season, and hopefully for today if you do make the final. Best of luck.
Hope so. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Olga Kozek there from Poland. Really good to see her on such great form this season. And Young Gun Lee there climbing ever so well, very quick. Got up to that next section. Let's take a look at the start list just to go through the progress so far. As I said, we have 9 more women in the ladies still to climb. Alexandra Sadova was out first, then Naya Yagi, then Zazdravnik. This is the start list, not the results. Marion Thomas. And then after that, it was, of course, Valeria Bogdan. We still have yet to climb, as I said, 9 athletes. Jungmin Kim will be out next, then Vivian Laboril of Switzerland, Marianne Filipova of Russia, Zina Goetz of Switzerland, Enni Bertling of Finland, Hanare Song of Korea, Emma McSwiggan of Ireland, and then 2 more athletes after that. We will have Uncheon Shin and Maria Tola-Kanina. Men's start list, of course, we've already had up to 9 of these athletes. We've had Anton Grebenikov, Tyler Kempney, Tristan Ladovon, who I will have in the studio in a second, Artem Bajegski, Anton Yemov, Dmitry Grebenikov, Naton Clare, who will also be joining me in the studio, and Young Hae Kwon. Those were our first 8 athletes. We will next have, we just had, Young Gun Lee. We will next have Chang Hyun Lee, Alexei Dengin, Kevin Huser, Luna Ladovon, Yannick Letard, last week's gold medalist, Park Hyung of Korea, Nikolai Kozlovlev of Russia, and then our last 2 athletes will be Alexei Marshalov and Mohammad Reza Safdarian. Action still going on down there, but before that action, let's say hello to the 2 French climbers, Naton Clare and Tristan Ladovon. Bonjour. Bonjour. You're going to have to put that microphone right next to your mouth, one at a time. In fact, you should be able to do that. No, we can't do that. You're just going to talk like this. Tristan, talk me through your route and that fall. You're very heavily bandaged at the moment.
Yeah, I climbed pretty okay. Bit slow on the ice, but I had around 2 minutes left when I started to climb on the last wall, and yeah, I had bad fall and stabbed myself. So it's fine.
You stabbed yourself?
Yes, I think. I don't know how.
I think you hit the ice.
No. It was an ice pick in my arm, yeah. It was a pretty small hole, but pretty deep, so it's a nice ice axis.
Oh, well, we've got the replay. We can watch that back in a minute. Naton, as ever, you look on great form. Talk us through your semi-final performance.
I fall yesterday in my first route. And for today, I think I need to be really fast and to top the route to take my place in the final. And that's what
that's what you did. Yes. And you're the only person to have topped so far, still?
There is another Korean who are top now.
No, he didn't reach the top.
Oh,
he clipped the top, but he didn't match the top.
Great.
So you're still in first place.
Okay.
What's your ambition here in Rabenstein? What result would you like to leave with?
I want to do a new podium for France. It will be a great thing, I think.
And Tristan, just talk us through the route setting here. What's it like to climb in the structure at Rabenstein?
The last competition was a lot about speed in Sasfe. Route wasn't so hard, at least in qualifications. And here in Rabenstein we had a different setting. I think the route setters wanted something more technical and a little bit harder. So it's very different, and also it's the very, very overhanging structure compared to the others. So yeah. Something strange for the athletes that are not used to it.
Just going to cut you off there. There's a moment where Jungmin Kim
she
had
had
quite a bad fall. Smashes her shoulder. She was still tucked into that figure 4 position. Let's watch that one more time. So she just popped out of the figure 4, and it's quite a low fall. There's a lot of slack out. Pops down, and she just can't right herself with her hand between her legs. And we see her come back around here. Oh! I've seen a few sketchy falls this morning in Rabenstein. Guys, I'm going to leave it there because there's so much action going on. But just to say thank you so much for joining me. And, of course, Tristan, we wish you a fast recovery. And not only wish you the best of luck if you do qualify for finals, which at this moment in time you're looking pretty certain to do.
Thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Liam.
Oh, Tristan, look, quick, let's quickly watch this replay before you go.
I don't know.
Dude, it's the ice. I'm sure.
It's pretty impossible.
That's a nice replay.
I don't know.
I think it was the ice.
That's
very strange.
Yeah, very strange because it doesn't look like a wound from ice fall or anything.
How weird. Well,
yeah.
Nevertheless,
I will check and I'll tell you.
Yeah, we wish you a fast recovery.
Yes, thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you both later today and, of course, in Champagny.
Yes.
That was Nathan Claire and Tristan Ladevon of France. That, on your screens, was Jungmin Kim of Korea. Nasty fall there. Hope that she's okay. We're going to watch Changhyun Lee now of Korea as he moves through those steep ice barrels and heads towards the next section. If you are just joining us, a very, very good morning from Rabenstein, Südtirol. You're watching us live, and it's a pleasure to have you on board. If you are just joining us, then why not let us know where you are tuning in from and who you are supporting. You can do that very easily. Drop us a message in the chat box or the comment box, depending on where you're watching. And if you're watching on TV, then you can let us know on any of the social media channels. Use that hashtag Uiaa Ice-Climbing, or contact me directly on any of the channels. Just search at Liam Lonsdale. Couldn't be easier. It's on your screens now. Changhyun Lee moving through that steeper section now, making good progress. It's been a fairly eventful semi-final so far. A couple of low falls, unexpected. Only one top, as I said. It was Nathan Claire of France. Olga Kozek still sits in first place after 10 athletes. So she is almost out of the danger zone. But these next set of athletes are very strong. On your screen in that top left-hand corner, Vivienne Labarille of Switzerland. Vivienne Labarille of Switzerland, who did make finals in Saas-Fee last week. Her first ever finals in front of a home crowd. We'll be keeping an eye on what she does. There she goes. Moves nice and high. She'll move up into that first section. Approaching clip number 1. Changhyun Lee, I think, also timed out just before the top again, so that's no top for him, but he does have that last clip. I'm hoping that these guys are timing out, because if they're not and they're dropping off early, then that's a big mistake to make. But I have Junggun Lee with no top, and Changhyun Lee will be in the same position. He'll be joint second.
Ja, jetzt haben wir noch einmal die bessere Audiotechnik. Vielen herzlichen Dank an unseren Audiomaster. Und die Schweizerin
Vivi Labril now moves
voll meinen
through that
Konzentration, volle
steep section.
Möglichkeit. Und die Kälte tut ihr nicht an, denn she is in the heat of the race.
Moves along the ice barrel, out and left, and approaching that upper steep panels. Still haven't seen any female climbers topping the route yet. In the screen is Alexei Dengin of Russia. Currently sits 9th overall, 4th place in Korea, 19th place in China, 15th place in Switzerland. Not quite had the season this year that he did last year. Of course, last year was a very impressive year for Alexei Dengin. Things just aligned and went his way. He started his season with a gold medal in Saas-Fei, a gold medal then 2 weeks later in China, and a gold medal in Cheongsong. Finished overall second, and it was just on points. It was so close between him and Maxim Tomilov.
Ninth in the overall ranking, Alexei.
Vivian Labaril now moving up towards clip number 5.
4th position in Korea, 19 in China, and 15 in Switzerland. Auch hier wieder einer der ganz
Up onto that very small Krukanogi bar hold.
hier in diesem Semifinal je
To make clip number 6.
mit den Climbern kommen. Unsere Schweizerin arbeitet sich Schritt für Schritt nach oben. Nur eines geht, der Weg nach oben, so schnell wie möglich, so sicher wie möglich und so weit wie
Makes clip number 7 and now gets into this tricky section. Powerful undercut move. Has to step across with that left hand and then reach over herself into the Stein.
mit den Pickeln in die andere Richtung einfach eine akrobatische Nummer nach der anderen und das Ganze im Eis, das ist Spektakel pur hier in Rammstein.
Alexei Dengin ist auch kein Unbekannter, seit es hier in Rammstein zwischen Eisball und Weltmeisterschaft gibt. Der Alexei Dengin ist immer kompetent. Einmal im Vordersten, einmal ein bisschen hinter. Letztes Jahr
Vivi Labaril matches into that small Krukanogi edge so that she can stand up and into the Stein. Hits it first time. That's really nice work from her.
Deborah sagt das ganz richtig, einer, der hier schon viele Fans hat und viel gezeigt hat. Und auch ganz spannend macht jetzt unsere Schweizer Athletin Vivian.
Vivian Labaril. She's 19th in overall ranking.
To this point now, we still haven't seen anyone manage to successfully hit this hold and then stick it. Olga Kozak came closest. She tried to match in, but we've not seen anybody do that match and then move out of it. Let's see if Vivi Labaril could really do with making that clip. That clip is one of the real separating factors, but she's confident. Oh, that edge is so small. Starts the swing on clip number 8 so that she can make it. See her using the tool to start that swing. Really nice work making that clip. Smart move. And let's see if she can hit this hold now. She just short on it. Very powerful to go into it in the outside of your shoulder like that. Just didn't have the stability. Falls out of the Stein. And that's time up, or rather attempt up, for Vivian Labaril.
Französische Schweiz, das sagt der Name auf alle Fälle. Eine ganz junge Athletin, hat sich jetzt ein bisschen geärgert, dass sie es nicht weiter nach oben geschafft hat. Das ist ja auch das Tolle, dass die Athletinnen, dass sie voll des Ehrgeizes sind. Jetzt hier noch einmal die Zeitlupe auf der Video. Jetzt noch einmal die letzten Bilder, schaut ihr doch an. Wie toll hat sie hier aus.
Yeah, really tricky move there for Vivian Labrille. Put an effort in, but not quite enough to stick the move, and that will put her one place behind Olga Kozak. Next athlete in the men's competition, still climbing there. It's Alexei Dengin of Russia. Could this be the year that we see him, or rather this be the round this year that we see him climbing as well as we know that he can? Flicks between the 4s and 9s, very experienced, knows exactly how to move best in these steep sections. Knows when to go fast and when to go slow in this Rabenstein ice tower.
Es heißt noch dabei für den Russen hier. Es geht noch eine Weile. Also Deborah, also wir haben ja jetzt noch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Herren.
Locks down that left hand, goes big with the right.
Damen. 7 Herren und 7 Damen. Jetzt schaue ich noch einmal auf die
unterschiedliche Nationen auch.
Little slip with that left foot, and again, he's not finding a good placement there. Better now as he walks those feet across and high. Gets the centre of gravity below the hold. Up into that Krukonogi edge. 7 athletes remaining in the men's competition after Alexei Dengin. 7 in the women's as well. And there's the first of the 7. It's Mariam Filipova of Russia. 2 Russian athletes on the wall then. Both of them outdoor research athletes. Outdoor Research, the title sponsor of this year's 2019 Uiaa Aisklamiing World Cup. You see all the judges and officials all wearing the Outdoor Research equipment that they kindly provide.
Resultate ohne Gewehr, unofficial result, first 3 position, Uiaa Labrille.
And in a brief moment there where we just had a little technical issue to fix, Dengin fell. I'm going to try and catch that replay one more time. He was in that intellect hold by clip number 12. Oh, and it just popped straight in his face. Absolute nightmare. Was not expecting that from Alexei Dengin. Especially on those intellect hold, which he knows so well. Just came into match, changed his mind, and it popped. It's almost certainly not going to be high enough to see him through to finals. It's another missed finals for the Russian athlete. It's a real shame. And the next athlete in the men's competition will be Switzerland's Kevin Husser. The next athlete joins us now on the floor. And there is Mariam Filipova of Russia. Currently 10th in the overall rankings this season, finished 13th in Korea and 4th in Switzerland. I know that there's a regular audience of Russians tuned in to support the Russian team, so privyet and welcome to those Russian fans. World Championships are going to be held in Kirov this year, first weekend in March. It's definitely going to be an event worth tuning into, and if you happen to be in Russia and fancy a trip to Kirov, then why not join us there? It'd be great to have you in the live audience. Next athlete is on the wall. That is Kevin Husser of Switzerland. Mariam Filipova approaching that difficult Stein move. And so she's standing up there. Interestingly, first climber to go into the figure 4, changes her mind at the last second, goes into the figure 9 over that left hand. Such a powerful position. Back to the 4 over the right. Easily touches that hole, but doesn't quite get the position on the Stein. Oh, and she's popped out! Falls below Olga Kozak, which means that Olga Kozak is through to her second finals of the season, her second finals of her career. Guaranteed. Let's just see what happened again there. Not seen any other athletes in that figure 4 there. She just twisted the tool ever so slightly, popped out of it. Watch it again. Watch that left hand. Watch the tool. As she matched with the right, it twisted it on its edge, lost its friction, popped out of there. It's over for Mariam Filipova. There's Kevin Husser of Switzerland. Made finals last week in Saas-Fee, first competition of the season, finished 8th.
Genau, so gefällt's uns. Genau, super. In der Schweiz mit einem tollen Rennen in die Weltcup-Saison gestartet. Und hier in Rabenstein wieder
moving nicely between those figure 4s. In that steep section. Just struggling to make that clip there, a little tangled in the rope. Makes it second time round.
At the moment we can concentrate on the Swiss athlete Kevin Husser. It's his party here in Rammstein in the semi-finals.
Immer wieder muss man mit diesen Schüttelmanövern Entspannung in die Glieder bekommen.
Reaches behind him and now approaches that steep ice section. We know that Kevin can move really quickly in the steep ice, so expect a pick up of pace from him now.
Natürlich schauen wir alle gespannt, was der Kevin Husser hier zeigt. Denn einer, der alle Rennen ausgelassen hat, bis auf der Schweizer Rennen und dann dort gleich Achter wird, ist einer, der sich gut vorbereitet hat für diese Saison, gut in Form ist und natürlich auch gut abschneiden möchte.
Kevin Husser through the first barrel. And swinging really confidently towards that next barrel, which is the last one before the solid ice section that he then climbs up into the steep hanging wall above.
Rennen schicken, wenn es nicht nur die Russen sind, nicht nur die Koreaner, sondern die Franzosen und die Schweizer dazu.
Really nice moves here from Kevin Huser of Switzerland. Needs to keep that pace going and gain some time back.
Diesen Sport verschrieben hat. Genau, also wir sind ja gespannt. Und hier immer wieder angespornt. Kevin Huser immer wieder.
Kicks his feet across and he's now into that ice section.
Und reagiert, knallt die Steigeisen.
Next clip number 9.
Trat sich fest, schüttelt den Arm aus und Avanti, nach oben. Avanti, höher.
From one Swiss athlete to another, top left-hand corner of your screen is Sina Goetz.
Also, Sie sehen ja die Zeit. The time you see on the wall, on the video wall, you can see the remaining time.
Kevin Hughes, a little pop there with the right hand, but manages to keep his composure. Makes that next clip. Time's running down for him now. Big reach up and high with that right hand into that intellect hold, and he's really having to accelerate now. Swiss team really cheering him on. We'll wait and see what his final result sits on. Whether or not it's enough to see him through to the finals, but I can tell you again, for sure, that unless there is some change from the judges, Olga Kozak has qualified for a second ever career final. We'll be climbing again today. If you want to watch that finals, you can tune in local time, 12:45, for the men's and women's final. That's Kevin Huser of Switzerland timing out there. And let's check out progress of fellow Swiss climber Sina Goetz, last week's silver medalist. Brilliant effort from her.
Two times in this
Another athlete opting to use a hand on that hold. Stand up high with the right hand over herself.
And once again on the run here, on the tower, climbing up, up and up and up, to kiss the sky.
Makes clip 5 and clip 6 in quick succession. And while Sina continues to climb, take a quick look at these men's results, and I can tell you that Nathan Clare is guaranteed a place in the finals as well. The only climber to top this men's route so far. Still have some very strong athletes to climb in both men's and women's semi-finals. So those results are not set in stone. Luna Ladevon will be out next. Yannick Glatard will follow him. Xiong Park after that. Nikolai Kozovlev, Alexei Marshallov and Mohamed Reza Safdarian. Sina Goetz moving now from clip 7 into that tricky move. Up and left with the left hand, hits the Stein.
auch mit einer klasse Leistung bisher, mit einem klasse Climbing in Rabenstein. Auch sie ganz konzentriert in diesem schwierigen Abschnitt jetzt.
Ja, wo sind denn die Schweizer Freunde hier? Das muss ein bisschen lauter werden hier. Hopp, links. Werner, alle.
Sina, bleib dran. Sina, mach weiter. Sina.
Just hanging off that Stein, taking a second to shake as she reaches out behind her. And will she make this move? Has a good placement, and you can see how unstable that tool is. Comes back down to reassess.
Und ein guter Start ist es gelungen jetzt. Und weiter macht er natürlich so, wie er begonnen hat. Wieder kopfüber jetzt die Position.
Really just having trouble trying to get that placement to stick. Such a difficult move. She's got it with the right hand. Oh, she's popped out. Such a stopper move. I think she might have hit herself in the face there. Let's see that back. Couldn't quite release that tool. She had it. Oof, powerful fall. She just needed to be able to release that left hand because the right was solid. She had really good stability in it. She was out of there. Great effort from her. We go on to our next athlete, which is Luna Ladevant. Younger brother of Tristan Ladevant is Luna Ladevant, and there he is on your screens.
And we're waiting for the ladies semi-finals from Finland.
Amy Bertley.
Ladevant move now onto the ice barrels. Let's see him pick up that pace. Reaches across into the first one, cuts loose, uses that momentum to put the right leg over the right hand into the figure 9. Left leg over, or rather right hand over the left leg. Oh my gosh. Right leg over the left hand. I'm having body part dyslexia. It's just flicking between 4s and 9s. That's what he's doing. As all the others have done. You know what he's doing. You don't need me. I might just go home. Makes that next clip. And stands into the ice. Moves now up into the wooden panels above. He's at that side pull by clip number 10, makes that one. Luna Ladevant still keeping it together now as he approaches the ever steepening section of wall. Behind him into that intellect hold now. That's clip 12 made.
Enni Bertling in the top left-hand corner of your screen for Finland. Just struggling to reach behind him. Could really, really do with the top, or at least getting close to it if he wants to be in with a chance of the finals. Reaches down and behind him into the ice block. Into the figure four, left leg over right hand. He has clipped 13. He's in that final block now. Into the last hold. Makes clip number 14 and matches the top hold. And that's a second top of the men's semi-final route. And it's a second top for France. Luna Ladevon through to his first finals of the 2019 season. Amazing work from the Frenchman. Luna Ladevon going into first place now. 21 seconds faster than his teammate Nathan Clare. Next male athlete will be Yannick Latard. Enni Bertling of Finland moving into that steep ice section that climbs out towards the cameras and out to the ever overhanging roof above.
Yes, we have seen another hole in the lead in the ranking now, and at the women's race we have Synergis from Switzerland, die Schweizerin jetzt.
Enni Bertling now approaching that upper section, the steep section. In a few months' time, I'll have Alexei Dengin of Russia to have a chat to him and analyse his performance. But we'll stick with Enni for now. As always, lots of support for Enni Bertling on the live stream.
Good job done. Und hier jetzt auch schon.
The left-hand shot is Yannick Latard of Switzerland, and we'll keep that shot for as long as we can. Yannick, of course, took the gold medal, his first ever gold medal, last week in Saas-Fee. Enni Bertling took her first ever medal in China, took a bronze medal for Finland, her first ever podium as well. She moves now in that tricky section by clip number 7. Real crux here. Nobody's managed to pass it.
Yannick Latard, der Schweizer, hat sie alle hinter sich platziert beim letzten World Cup in Saas-Fee in der Schweiz. Watch out, this man winning.
Enni Bertling in that Stein now reaches up to make clip number 8. Now Enni's one of the tallest athletes
Be very interesting to see if she can get past this hold. Hold 8.2. Reaches behind her. Doesn't quite get it first time. Now. Oh, she's off. She's held it. Nope, she's off. Just twisted around a little too much on that shoulder. And yet another athlete falls victim. But it will put her in a position to qualify, I believe. I think she's done enough for the finals. Sina Goetz and Olga Kozak both in that exact same position. See that one more time. And as we see that, I'd like to welcome to the broadcast Russia's Alexei Dengin. Alexei, good morning.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing, man?
Not bad.
Talk me through that semi-finals route.
Actually, it's a pretty powerful route with some technical movements, and actually, especially ice barrels, it's always stealing your power, endurance. Yeah, you just, when you must climb like precise and technique, you just without any power.
And you fell, I would imagine, a lot lower than you were expecting to. Can you talk us through that fall?
You know, I spent the time, and it was about just because I was out of time, and yeah, I wasn't so precise, and actually no power to keep my body straight, and I was maybe too hurried to get higher, because I had just 20 seconds. I tried to do something, and I made mistake.
And let's quickly talk about Friday night. You were driving up the road and you seemed to have
Friday
some problems.
night, like a party time, yeah?
It wasn't party time, no, that was the last thing it was. I seem to remember it being quite the opposite.
You know, for me, the Friday night, it was about humanity. Because, yeah, when you don't need to ask about help, there's somebody on the road, especially you, so appreciate, guys. I met you on my way to home, to my apartment, so
to give some context, we were driving back from finishing filming on Friday, and we came across a stranded car, and it was the Russian team, Alexei Dengin and 3 of his teammates, stuck with snapped snow chains from their hire car, and we rallied together and we managed to tow them not only to safety but to their hotel. It was a fun adventure.
Yeah, it's fun. Luckily, I have a rope in my.
Maybe don't climb on that one again.
I think it's not bad because we were driving so carefully without any.
It's true.
Yeah, I think the rope is perfect.
It's probably fine.
But I tied a knot on the end. If you climb, just when I don't have any rope.
Well, Alexei, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck for the rest of the season. We're going to go to Yannick Glattard now.
So, thank you, and good luck to everybody.
Thanks so much, man. Alexei Dengin there of Russia, and Yannick Glattard, Swiss Air, has been cleared for takeoff and is moving pretty nicely through the route so far as he climbs up into this steeper section of the route. 2 athletes have topped this men's route so far, both French. Hannare Song is our next athlete in the ladies' competition. You see her in the top left-hand corner of your screen right now. Yannick, deep block with that right hand. Oh, and he almost misses that next hold there. Manages to hit it. Excellent stability there. I have to say, phenomenal stability. If you saw that again, he was so deep in the right hand. Managed to recover from that first miss, and he's into that intellect hold now, standing up high into the undercut, moves straight up into that hook, and that's a really smart move as he reaches down to make clip 12, and he'll move up and left behind him from that figure 4 position into the Stein, and he's absolutely flying now. Really nice movement to make clip 13, hops behind himself. Wow, look at that, jumps into the figure 4 with the left leg. Where has this energy come from? It always happens. There's clip 14, left hand, right hand, and he's topped. Yannick Glattard, blistering pace, tops the route. here in Saas-Fee, and we'll have to see if it was faster than Luna Ladefort or not. Regardless, he is through to the finals. Absolute aggression. He's so confident in those movements. Jumps those figure fours across. Brilliant flexibility. Nice work. Yannick. I do have to say, my pronunciation of his name is very Lancastrian. I know that the Swiss pronunciation is very much Yannick Glattard, but we'll stick with Yannick. Give him a Bolton twang. Means he's one of us now. Han Song climbing now into that steep section, and she's favoured this competition over the years. She, in fact, won this competition back in 2017 and 2018. And in fact, she won it in 2000. She's won this every year for the last 3 years. Am I right in saying that? She won last year. She won the year before. She won the year before that. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good record. Consistent wins here for Han Song, and she'll be looking to do something similar today if she can qualify for the finals. It's been a very, very tricky route, this. And in a few moments' time, I will have two Swiss athletes joining me. I'll have Vivian Labrille and Sina Goetz joining me. We'll have a talk to them about that semi-finals route. But let's stick with Han for now and see how she manages this upper part of the route.
Preparing his round here in the semi-finals for man leader.
Reaches backhand into the small hold here, and we've seen various methods deployed at this point.
The next one going into the race is Hee-Young Park from Korea, and third position in the overall ranking. The second place in Korea.
Reaches up, misses it for the first time into the Stein, hits it second time. Plenty of time on our hands here as well. One of the fastest athletes we've had to this point. Makes clip number 8. Now, no athlete has managed to get past this next move. Tina Goetz was very, very close. Enni Bertling was very, very close. Olga Kozak was very, very close. But close isn't enough. Sina managed to get a really good position on the hold, had her shoulders locked in, and then the left hand just couldn't release easy enough. Will Han make the same mistake? Good, not good position. Such a bad hold. I can't wait to ask the girls about this one. Time runs down, and she just takes a second to shake. Gets it again. She stares at that hold, willing that tool to stay in place, but it's not happening. Hanare just using this time as she finds this move more difficult. She's probably got a good idea that few, if any, athletes have managed to pass this point. Hits it for a third time, and you can see how shallow that placement is. Just not happy with it. Would it be a fourth time? Nope. Really difficult move. Fifth time lucky. She's stuck in it. She's committing. Lets that left tool out, and this is the best attempt we've seen yet, and there it is. That flicking the left hand means that she's into first place, and with a few seconds left on the clock, makes clip number 9. It's not going to be enough to top, but it will be enough to see her provisionally through to first place in the semi-finals. She's won here 4 years in the row. She's guaranteed a place in the finals now. Can she make it a 5th? Reaches up and right with the right hand, locks that Stein in. kicks underneath it, centers that gravity again. Fights the rope drag to make clip number 10. And that's time up. Awesome work for Hannare Song. And as we watch those replays, I'm going to say a very warm welcome to Sina Goetz and Vivian Labaril. Ladies, welcome.
Hi. Hello.
So first, Vivi, talk me through your semi-finals route. How did you feel about your performance?
So at the beginning it was really good. I feel well and tried to be fast. Then the ice barrel was really cool. I liked the figure, so I did a lot of figures. And after that, the hard part was about the 7th. There was the metal thing, and I was afraid of it, so I took it like an underkick, what was a little bit smart, I think.
Yeah, it was super smart.
And from them, it was just like going, until the hard moved to the blue one. And I was, it was not possible for me.
Well, it was a great effort, and I'm looking at the results, and with only 3 more athletes to climb, you are in 5th place, which means you will qualify for finals, 2nd time in a row.
Yeah, that's cool.
Super cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask Sina a few questions now. Sina, you were the first person to really get a good placement on that high blue horrible edge. How horrible is that edge?
Oh, it was like the most horrible intellect hold I've ever had.
It's an intellect hold?
Yeah, we didn't see that from the ground.
So it actually has a metal plate in it?
Like 3 holes.
No
I tried
way.
all 3 of them and they are all so tiny. I've never seen that tiny holes on an intellect. So it took me a while to commit to it. And then I tried it, but it just maybe lacked a bit of body tension there. I don't know.
I mean, it looked like from the replay that we saw that you had it good and that the left hand wouldn't come out of the Stein. And then it did come out and then you tried too hard to pull it out, basically.
Yeah, the Stein was really a huge one. So you had to kind of push it out of there. And maybe, that could be a reason why it popped.
I'm just going to hold you guys for a second. Don't go anywhere. Hyung Park of Korea makes clip 13 now and kicks his right leg over his left hand into the figure 4 at the Stein. As he approaches that last barrel, they don't call him the Korean Ice King for nothing. I haven't got eyes on the clock, but we could be about to see our 4th top of this men's final. He is wearing that red bib. He is the current world champion. Left hand, right hand, and there's the top for Hyung Park. Great work for him. We'll see what his time was and where that places him. Sina, you're going through to the finals as well. After last week's silver medal, what's going through your mind here in Rabenstein?
Yeah, maybe just try my best again, take the memories with me. And I know that I am pretty strong enough and that I trained a lot of endurance, so I hope it pays off on the structure.
Well, we of course wish you best of luck, and Vivian, we wish you guys good luck as well. Vivian, there's lots of support for you guys and the whole of the Swiss team on the broadcast and everywhere. Is there anything you'd like to say to the guys at home on behalf of you and the rest of the team?
We just want to rock it.
Well, I'm sure they can't wait to see you rock it. Thank you again so much for joining me. Best of luck for the finals. Sina Goetz and Vivian Labaril. On your screens right now is Uiaa McSwiggan of Ireland. In a few moments' time, I will be joined by Luna Ladevant of France. Let's keep our eyes on Uiaa, our 3rd place qualifier, and see how she manages with this route. So Uiaa McSwiggan, no stranger to this competition. She finished 7th here in 2017. She finished 5th here in 2018. So she's used to climbing in the finals in Rabenstein. Qualifying in 3rd yesterday shows that she does have the pedigree to be in with a fighting chance. Overall this season, she's certainly not had a bad one. We've got lots of McSwooners. That's the official McSwiggan fan club commenting already, showing their support. She sits in 3rd place in the overall rankings with 157 points. She finished 8th in Korea. She got a silver medal in 2nd place in China and then finished 9th, just outside the finals position in Sasfei, but broke that curse, which was one that she talked about. She said she'd never been able to just get into those semi-finals. Sasfei, excuse me, always catching her out, but she did make semis last week in Sasfei, and now moves well along that ice barrel. In the top left-hand corner of your screen is Nikolai Kuzovlev, Russian athlete. Overall, not the tour leader. He was the tour leader, but he's not anymore. Interesting. Moving through that initial steep section.
The same way for the men up to now, and we are just missing 3 athletes. We have 8, 1, 7, Rebenikov, 6, Lee, 5th, Lee, Chang Yong, 4th.
Uiaa McSwiggan now approaching that final section. I say final section, she's at clip number 4 and there's 12 total clips, so she has a lot more climbing to do, but it's the final sequences where the steep boards get ever steeper. This curving arc starts at about 20 degrees overhanging and just keeps getting more and more steep, closer and closer to horizontal for the duration. Takes that small edge with the right hand. Very cautious climber, Uiaa McSwiggan. Very precise, moves rhythmically, generally fairly slowly until the last minute and a half. But it just seems to work for it. She's precise, confident, very, very strong.
Eine fernöstliche Kampfsportart, wenn man diese Genauigkeit sieht, wie eben die Schritte setzt mit der vollen Konzentration.
Uiaa McSwiggan now into that tricky move to the Stein, hits that first time, no surprises there. Makes that next clip. So, little pop there, and now we know from Sina that it's an intellect hold. Very, very small intellect hold. Reaches back with the right hand. Oh, and she's popped! Not able to recover or catch that one. She's going to think that it's not enough. You can see it in her face. I actually heard Kendra Stritch shout, "It's all right, Uiaa." She has done enough to make it through to the final. And while those replays show, I'm going to say a very warm welcome and good morning to current first place, Monsieur Luna Laravant. Welcome.
Hey there.
How are you doing?
Yeah, really fine.
Yeah, I bet you are. You're in first place.
Yeah, it's really good after like the last World Cup in Sasfei was a real mess for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I climbed with a little pressure then, and but it worked. Yeah.
So talk me through the route and the route setting. You were the second person to top after Nathan Claire, but you were significantly faster than him, 20-something seconds, and you're now faster than also Hyung Park and Yannick Letard.
So yeah, it was kind of tricky route. A lot of ice, and the transition between ice and real holes are quite tricky because like you have to be very fast on ice and then be careful on the real hole because like there is intellect and always tricky part. So you have to be really careful between speed and like
precision.
Yeah. Precision, yeah. Exactly.
Well, you seem to find the balance really, really well. Qualifying in potential first place, we still have 3 more athletes, including Nikolai, who's on the screen now. What does that do for you going into finals? How does that make you feel?
So that's the second time for me. and I'm pretty happy because like I trained a lot and I feel ready for that. So yeah, I just waited for that moment to be in the final and just express myself. Try to express myself.
Do you feel any pressure at all, or you feel relaxed going into the into the finals?
I think I will have less pressure than in semis for sure.
Excellent. Well, listen, lots of support for you on the live stream. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans here and the fans at home?
Nothing but love.
Oh dear. Well, listen, Luna, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on making that final. Best of luck for the finals and, of course, for the rest of the season. And we'll see you later on.
Thank you very much.
Luna Ladevon there of Team France will be in the finals and sits currently in first place with the fastest top. And in a few moments' time, we'll have Enni Bertling of Finland for a chat. But let's keep our eyes on Nikolai Kuzovlev. You can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen, we have Won Shin there, Korean athlete, moving up into the first moves of that route. Nikolai Kuzovlev makes clip number 14. Left hand in the top, right hand in the top, and that's a guaranteed finals for him. And a great effort from Nikolai Kuzovlev. Very, very casual. And at this point, I can actually grab another athlete. All the interviews today. I know that you guys like to hear from the athletes. Very warm welcome to the broadcast. Enni Bertling of Finland.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good. Again.
Good again. So let me just pull those results up. See what they look like. Women's semi-finals. We've got some very, very slow internet here. Very slow internet. You are not in the men's competition. Look at that. No results. Never mind. Do you know where you're sitting so far?
I think I'm maybe...
It's not showing.
We can test it.
Let's try it on yours. For some reason we're getting some problems with our connection, which means that we're not getting those live results.
Yeah, I'm sure fourth.
Okay, fourth. Excellent. We like joint fourth. I have it now. It's just loaded on my screen as well. So you and Ema...
Yeah, we popped from the same hold.
Yeah, in the same position. We had a little chat with Sina about how bad that hold was. Can you just talk us through that move on that intellect hold?
No, it wasn't bad. It was an intellect hold, which are always bad. But, you know, it was the floating under, so you have to get your feet really high up. And to be honest, I went there and I was like, okay, this is my move. I can do this.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty good in those moves. And then I didn't get my feet enough high, so I did a mistake. And I was really frustrated after that. But when I heard that I'm in the finals, so now I just get over it and prepare.
Yeah, all of a sudden you don't care about the mistake anymore.
Yeah, we start, when we go to the next stage, we always start from the zero, so...
And this is the third final of the season for you.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good to see you climbing so consistently on such good form. You said that you forget that mistake. How do you feel going into the finals, you know, knowing that this is the third of the season?
I think I'm all the time just more relaxed and enjoy more if it's possible. So, yeah, it's cool. It's very nice.
It's really, really cool. And not only is this your third final of the season, but you currently sit in the top 5 of the world ranking with 2 more rounds to go after this one. You're definitely going to have an 8th place. I can't remember how many points that gets you. 40 points, right? So, you know, that's going to put you with 187 points really, really strong in that top 5.
Yeah, but there is a strong girls like Sina coming after me. But, you know, I don't really think about the ranking. We climb the World Cup, and after that we open the page. And, yeah, like, oh, wow.
Interesting. We're actually watching Won Shin now on the screen approaching this next very tricky move, and in the top left-hand corner is Alexei Marshallov. One last thing, of course, as ever, lots of support for you on the broadcast. Anything you'd like to say to those lovely people at home?
Oh, thank you. Oh,
look at this, Enni, you rock, go, blah, blah, blah. Lots of support for Ema as well, the McSwooners. And at some point, we're going to have to come up with a name for your fan club as well.
Oh, yeah. I trust you in this.
Well, I think the fans are actually better than I am. Somebody on the broadcast came up with the McSwooners.
Oh, okay.
So I think we need to find
maybe they
something
can
for
make
you.
up.
Yeah, maybe the Many Ennies or something like that.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think that works. Let somebody
Any
else do
penny.
it. Any penny? Yeah, we'll definitely leave it to them. Listen, Enni, thank you so much for joining us. And look at that, Won Shin climbing ever so well now through that section. Made that move look like it was nothing. Big thank you for joining me to Finland's Enni Bertling. We'll be seeing her in finals. Won Shin clips number 9, and she is storming this route. Could we see our first top in the ladies' competition? Only one way to find out, guys, and that is to stay tuned. Coming towards the end of this women's and men's semi-final. One more athlete in the women's, it's Maria Tolokanina. And after Alexei Marshallov, who climbs right now, we'll have one more man, which is Mohamed Reza Safdarian. Clip 10 made, reaches behind her into the black box. Keeps those feet nice and high so she can put the right leg over the left hand into that figure 4. Round to the other side of the black box. Another fig 4, this time right leg over left hand. She hasn't got clip 11 yet, just trying to work out how to reach back. There it is, nice and easy, and you can see above her the ice barrel in the top. Reaches into the back side of it. She's got to get all the way around it, and it can be really tricky, this, because it starts to spin. It's on a single axis. As it starts to spin, rope drag can really become an issue. Won Shin will be very conscious of that. Currently sitting in second place in the overall rankings. She's taken a silver medal in Korea and a gold medal in Switzerland. You can see what I'm talking about now with that drag stuck underneath that barrel. She just needs a little bit more to pull out. That foot actually might help her there. She's pulled some rope up onto the side of the barrel. As the clock ticks down, she flicks back into the figure 4. It's not going to happen. Absolute heartbreaker for Won Shin. And that's something that she'll have to bear in mind for the finals. If there is a feature like this there in the finals, she's going to have to be way quicker, way more efficient in that position. There we go. Won Shin makes that last clip. And finishes her semi-finals route in first place. One more climber to go. Maria Tolokanina of Russia, and if anyone has the ability to get past Won Shin and top faster, then it is Maria Tolokanina. Alexei Marshallov still climbing for the men. There's Alexei Marshallov now moving through those ice barrels. He's not the fastest climber, Alexei Marshallov, and that is something that you've got to work on for this route. Such a short time for so many moves, and he's got his legs tangled there. In the rope. He's got himself in a real pickle. This is going to cost him a lot of time.
One race for the Russian climber this year so far in Switzerland.
Literally got himself in a knot.
The last
It's the first time that I've ever seen anyone literally tie themselves in a knot, and he needs to just flick it from the outside of his foot, but it's just not happening. This is going to cost him a place in the finals, almost certainly. There, it's off his foot, but now wrapped around his hand. Now he needs to find some pace from somewhere, because with the athletes getting so high before him, it's a mistake that you just can't afford to make. Oh, and he dropped his axe there and managed to catch it, and he's dropped it again. Just not quite sure what happened. Everything kind of fell apart once he tied himself in that knot. Did really well to catch that axe, though. That deserves some sort of award. There she is, Maria Tolokanina. Current ranked #1 on the tour. We'll go straight to her after we've seen those replays of Alexei Marshallov. Watch this. This was quite extraordinary. Had the right hand. Tool dropped. He managed to catch it, put it in his mouth, and then dropped it out of his mouth. What a nightmare. After that impressive save, a little mistake there cost him. And it's no finals for Marshallov. Next athlete and last athlete in the men is Mohammad Reza Safdarian. And our final athlete in the women's competition is Russia's Maria Tolokanina. 2 golds to her name already this season. She's definitely looking for a third. 240 points with Won Xunshin biting at her ankles with 204 points.
Kommt sie, da steigt sie empor, da zeigt sie, was sie kann. Sie ist nicht irgendeiner der vielen, sondern sie ist die Nummer 1. Und das will sie auch wieder hier zeigen. Bei diesen Semifinals, die uns dann auf direktem Wege zu den finalen Durchgängen bringen werden, mit Start um 13 Uhr. Wir erwarten da natürlich ein dichteres Publikum für den Showdown hier in Rabenstein. Und jetzt ist unterwegs. Started the last of the semifinals.
Mohammad Reza Safdarian
This is for
in the top left-hand corner of your screen. It's a very historic moment here last year for him and for the whole sport of ice climbing. Took his first ever gold medal. First gold medal for an Iranian after taking bronze the week before in Sazfay. Couldn't quite recreate the magic in Sazfay last weekend. Will he be able to do something special here this weekend? Currently sits in 5th place overall after 3 competitions. 17th in Korea, 4th in China, 4th in Switzerland. Maria Tolokanina now reaching over herself. Marion Thomas currently sitting in 8th place. We'll be watching Maria Tolokanina very closely, because if Maria gets past Marion's high point, which was clip 8, then Marion will be out. She's approaching it very quickly. She reaches down with that left hand into that good hook. Very powerful shoulder move, but we know that she's so strong with those shoulders. And I love that angle. It's such a deceptive position from below. Looks like they're on a slab, and there you can really, really see how steep these moves are.
Reaches up into that Stein. Powerful move there. Makes that nicely. Reaches nicely to clip 8. Very nice. And so now, Marion Thomas will be watching carefully. That first pop will be a tie with Thomas. But if she can hold that, then she's through. Oh, she's second pop. Ever so close. Third time. Has she got it this time? Hits it strong. Reaches up with that left hand, and she's through to the finals now. Whatever happens doesn't matter, other than the fact that it will determine which position she climbs in. She is through to the finals. Marion Thomas out. Still with plenty of time on the clock. She's going to look to get that top. Mohammad Reza Safdarian out of shot, making good progress. We will cut to him in a second. Don't worry, when things start to get exciting with him, we'll show you. I can confirm that Won Seon Shin did not get awarded that top. She had timed out. Maria Tolokanina moving towards that black box at clip 11. Really nicely into the figure 9 with the right hand. Climbing in circles there. Really fluid movement. Saving a lot of time as she comes round to the opposite side of that box. Gets ready to reach back. There's clip 11. Now, as that clock ticks down, does she have enough time to top? She's gone to the right side. Climber's right. Stays high on the barrel, and that's a really smart move. Keeps that rope from underneath it. Oh, just slipped underneath. Make no mistakes, Maria Tolokanina is one of the most experienced climbers on this tour. She's been ice climbing pretty much since she could walk. She knows how to correct mistakes like this. Looks at that figure 9. Pulls the rope through. There it is. Very nicely done. Professional stuff, as we would expect. Maria Tolokanina qualifies in first. Just struggling to retrieve her axe there, Maria Tolokanina. There we go. So Maria Tolokanina of Russia qualifies in first. We will have those results for you in a few moments' time. But let's go to Mohammad Reza Safdarian. And look at that. Perfect timing as we see Mohammad Reza Safdarian approaching the top. Makes clip 14. No, he doesn't. Now he has clip 14, and there's the top. Mohammad Reza Safdarian also through to the finals. We'll have the results in just a few moments' time, but he'll be very, very happy with that, and we can see him there climbing confidently to the top. If you do want to tune into that finals, which we highly encourage you to do, then you can tune in at 12:45 local time. Mohammad Reza Safdarian, one of the 8 men through to the finals. So let's take another look at some of the best moments from the semi-finals. Nearly said finals then. From the semi-finals. Just to remind you, you can tune into the lead finals, men and women. We start here at 12:45 local time. There's Valeria Bogdan. Fell in the Stein. No finals for her. It's been a very interesting semi-finals. A couple of surprises, a couple of bad falls. This was Youngmin Kim, who had that awkward fall there and smashed her shoulder into the ice on the way down. Just had her arm caught between her legs. Really unlucky. It's just the way it goes sometimes. We had Tristan Ladovon, who somehow punched himself. Let's take a look at those results. Okay, top 8. Vivian Laboriel qualifies for Switzerland in 8th place. Enni Bertling and Emma McSwiggan tied for 6th. Olga Kozak of Poland in 5th. Zina Goetz of Switzerland in 4th. Hanna Song of Korea in 3rd. Top spots, Maria Telekonina and Won Shin, neither of which topped in time, both with a tied ranking for first place. Just outside qualifiers, Marion Tomas in 9th, Daria Menina of Russia in 10th, Valeria Bogdan of Russia in 11th, Anastasia Zazdravnik of Russia in 12th, Marian Filipova of Russia in 13th, Laura van Almen of Switzerland 14th, Haruko Takeuchi of Japan in 15th, Jungmin Kim in 16th, and it's Nae Yagi and Alexandra Sedova who make up that bottom 2 with the very low falls in the women's semi-finals. Let's take a look at the men's results. Those top 8 men look like this. Chang Hyun Lee and Youngun Lee of Korea both there, 8th and 7th. Mohammad Reza Safdarian topped 6th place for Iran. 5th place is Yannick Letard for Switzerland, also with the top. 4th place, Nikolai Kuzovlev of Russia with the top. 3rd place, Nathan Claire of France, also with the top. Hyung Park of Korea and Luna Ladovon making up 2nd and 1st respectively. All topping that route. Gavanikov just outside finals in 9th. Jung Hye Kwon in 10th for Korea. Kevin Huser 12th for Switzerland. Alexei Dengin 12th for Russia. Tyler Kempney of the USA, great performance from him, 13th for the USA. Anton Yemov of Russia below that. Now, I didn't see Alexei Marshallov or what place he was, but he had that really awkward move where he got tied up in the ropes. So close. Anton Gravenikov and Artem Bajevsky making up that bottom 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a stunning semi-finals, brilliant route setting, very, very interesting results. And if that was anything to go by, you need to be tuning in to the finals at 12:45 local time. I'll be here, the athletes will be here, and we're looking forward to you joining us. You can, of course, as ever, tune in on YouTube, Facebook, and Red Bull TV this evening. You can get involved in the conversation, use the hashtag Uiaa Aisclimbing. Send me a message directly on @Liam Lonsdale. My name is Liam Lonsdale, and I'm looking forward to a thrilling 4th round finals here in Ravenstein in a few hours' time. Until then, whatever you're doing, do it safely and do it with heart. Big love from me.